right. Preparing to meet. Set up your meeting for live, YouTube live. Loading, loading, loading. Here we go. My end. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? I am your girl, always, family, Kay Johnson. So what we're doing tonight is a little bit different. I run into some technical difficulties, and if you know and you're a podcaster, you already know what's up. We go through this stuff, right? But I have tonight a very, 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 very special guest with me. But you know that Authentic Thursday is all about having conversations that inspire you through 4 things: originality, creativity, excellence, and faith. And tonight we're going to talk about love, success, and money from my great, great, great friend, Rico.
What's good, Queen?
Say what's up to everybody.
What's good, y'all? Man, it's definitely an honor to be here.
Yeah.
She got me on the show, man.
Make sure you turn your volume down on your phone.
All right, good stuff.
Because I got to do the same. I'm like, ooh. Is it coming back? Okay. All right. So, guys, let me talk a little bit about Rico, man. Rico is a digital entrepreneur. He is making waves and he's building his team. He's creating success and momentum, and he's building a lot of people's belief system up. He is a Forex trader. He is an entrepreneur. He is a man of faith. But most importantly, he's a man of success. And I would like to welcome you all. If you've never met him before, this is your first formal meeting digitally. And so let's go ahead and get started, man. Let's go ahead and get started for tonight. I don't want to be here too long, but if the conversation good, we're going to be here. All right. So first of all, let me let you introduce yourself, how you would introduce yourself to the people. Tell us who you are, what you do, what you're about.
Yeah, man. Rico McKinney, Memphis, Tennessee. The city. It's hot right now. Great stuff coming out. I seen somebody put a post today like, yo, this is gold mine in the city. I used to always say that too. You know what I mean? And when it comes to like what we are, a lot of people move out and stuff like that, but it's always a good place to be from the city, born and raised. Looking forward to getting back. But yeah, man, 27, 27, I'm aging myself. 26, I've been in the networking industry about 8 years since I was 16. I grew up around it. And it's something that completely changed my life. Now I'm in a digital entrepreneurial world, Forex trading. Most of us always heard about it at this point. We see the charts, we see the people talking about it. Whether it be a positive standpoint, negative standpoint, we see people talking about it, and the legitimacy or the lack thereof that's around it. We'll of course get into the things right now. My thing was, in life, my mission is simple. For me, I seen, blessed to have some of my life living in poverty, another part of my life, having a lavish life, seeing my mom literally go from what she was to what she want to be. And I'll make this small point, and then we'll go into the talks. But for me, I watched my mom, 17 years as a single parent. Like literally, I wake up, my mom's at work 17 hours a day. Not 17 years, but she's working 17 hours a day as a single parent. Right, literally waking up, she's at work, going to sleep, she's at work. So I'm not sure if you can relate to that or anybody else can relate to that, but it gets to a point in time where you like frustrated because you like, what's the point of having a parent if she's not here? And it literally changed. My mom, she's not a type person, she's a Virgo, so she's not a type person that's really like just satisfied with just being content what she was. So her mind, it always had to be something better. So she like, I'm telling my kids no, they deserve yes. I'm telling them no because I can't afford yes. You know what I mean? And that's a problem. So she started seeking different things. She found the networking marketing industry, and my life literally changed. Like her walk changed, her talk changed, her zip code changed, her husband changed. I'm like, yo, what my mom doing different? And I'm always this curious kid, so I always used to like sneak in on conversations, sneak in on presentations. She used to travel. I'm like, let me go. And I seen that transition. So somebody go from literally nothing, right? Odds stacked against them. She had me at the age of 18, and I was the third kid. You know what I mean? So again, she was not a person that's supposed to have success. And so I seen that. So it was almost by like, I had to become an entrepreneur. It was almost like something that I was kind of born to do. And you know, me growing up working my first job and going through that process of really knowing what it feels like to get to a place where you see what it's like to really like look in a corporate politics standpoint, and you expect other people to you know, like really tell you what you're worth. And so, you know, me transition, like y'all want to go get and create my own future and take advantage of different platforms so I can now start the things I always want to start. Because you look at it, a lot of people don't have money, a lot of people don't have time, a lot of people don't have platforms. So I'm like, let me be that beacon of hope and beacon of light for people that help them go from where they were to where they want to be. So that's kind of how my journey started. But I seen it through my mom. She became an example. She became my model. And I'm like, yo, she did it with the little that she have. Man, it's my job to take what she done for my household, my brothers, my sisters, and literally expand that and then create a, you know, really a roadmap for the people to help them cross, to help them find their gifts, to really help them go from where they were to where they are right now to where they want to be.
Man, he dove into that thing head first, guys, right? We already getting together. So what's up, everybody? Go ahead and drop in the comments, vibe, right? Go ahead and drop in the comments, vibe. What are we talking about tonight? Love, success, and money. But really, though, we're talking about how to... I'm sorry. Lost my thought. We're really talking about how to spot those green flags. We always talk about red flags, but let's talk about the green flags, right? Green flags are important. We do a lot of focusing on sometimes the negative situations, but you do need to pay attention to. But we also want to know, when am I supposed to go? When is it good to go? Like, do I identify wrong, or do I identify right, green light, just as well as I identify a red light? You know, stop, a warning, caution, right? So let's get into that conversation tonight. Jeez. You know, we gotta go ahead and hit them hard. I really want to talk about let's just talk about how to know when you want to work with somebody. What are the green lights of knowing when to work with someone in business and really in collaborating on anything? How do you know you're ready to work with somebody? What's the green
There's a spirit though. I'm gonna go left though. You gonna expect this one. So here's crazy, because in life, man, you realize this, and that's what I love about, you know, awareness. And the one thing we always talk about in my space, my mentor talk about a lot, you know, and one thing I want you guys to understand is we've been taught our whole life that we perform based off our ability. So it's all about how able are you, right? How much ability you have, how much skill set. But in reality, we perform based off our awareness. So it's all about awareness, and through life, through maturity, through experiences. We define time as things I must experience and stuff like that. So like, you really are more aware. And what I realized is it's hard to know outward, right? If you haven't done the work inward. So how can I know when to start a business relationship or a personal relationship if I haven't done the work of myself? So the first thing is you got to know you, right? Because, or you're going to continue to be in empty, you know, outcomes, empty relationships, empty partnerships and things like that, because you haven't known yourself. So I'm able to identify in other people because I'm able to identify the good in me. Right? I'm able to identify the superpower in me. I'm able to identify, you know, the giftedness within myself, right? So now I'm able to, because I've done my own self-work and I'm on that pursuit. So just like, you know, our encounter, right? You somebody, I don't even know how we follow each other, but I seen it. I seen the fire. I seen the ambition. I seen, you know, the passion, right? You know what I mean? And it's easy to see it if you have molded those things within yourself. So the first thing is you want to do the work in yourself. And I'm gonna say this. I went to this communication class, and this is like a couple months ago in Atlanta. You know, my mentor like, yo, I need you to buy this ticket to this communication class. Went to this communication class. He told us to identify 3 people that you look up to, right? Identify 3 successful people in any area of life. This could be anything. And so we started writing them down. I started writing down my influences, my mom, you know, people I think that's successful. He's like, yo, I want, he's like, hey, right, tell me who you got. And you tell me who you got. Rico, who do you have? I wrote down who I have. He said, I noticed that nobody in this class is like a class of 30, 40 people. Nobody in this class put themselves on that as one of their 3. He said, write down one person that you find, that you look as successful in any area of life. So most of you don't have success because number 1, they don't believe it's possible for them. Number 2, like, we really don't see the goodness in ourselves. So in order for you to able to identify great partnerships, great relationship, it's the inner work and you knowing who you are. And now you be able to open up, you know, to other people and then be able to identify other people as well. So that's kind of how I kind of use it, is go inward and work outward.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree that success. Hold on, what we got going on?
Let me see. Let me see. All right, cool. I think we back. So what I'm gonna do is I mute myself on Zoom. Well, I turn my volume down on Zoom, and then I'm talking through Facebook.
Oh, that's Lucky. Right. Baby.
Feedback.
Hey, Lindo, I need y'all to be quiet. My nephew just walked in the wrong time, but yeah, we back.
We good. I think we good now.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all work with us now. Y'all work with us. So that was some good stuff. You said work inward, then work outward. I really agree with that. A lot of work. Here we can't have you know great relationships in business with people. We can't vibe well with people. We haven't taken ourselves to a place of not comfortability, but getting familiar with who we are, right? So I really like that perspective, and I agree with it a lot. So a green flag is knowing who you are. That's what I'll say it was. That's the green flag, when you know when to collaborate with somebody, knowing who you are, and then it's easy. It's easier. It's easier to spot. It's easier to identify. Okay, so I think I want to ask this next question, and this question is about skills men and women need. No matter who you are, what are your top 3 skills you believe that men and women need in entrepreneurship?
Man, you got some good questions. I love this one. Let me see. So the first thing, this is one I'm passionate about, right? The first one I say this is anybody, right? Not just in entrepreneurism, life, relationships, whatever avenue that you're looking to embark in or be successful in, you have to learn and embrace sales, right? So you don't have to be a salesperson, but you have to embrace sales. Give you an example. My nephew's behind me right now. As a parent, you know, you sell, right? You know, we sell in every aspect of life. Everything that sells. You either you somebody that's in sales or you in support of somebody that's in sales, right? No matter what you do. So you have to learn the art of sales and how to sell. And if you want to replace the sale word, replace it with persuasion, right? The ability to present, right? The ability to negotiate, right? You have to learn those things. And also leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. As a parent, you have to be a leader. But I realize that a lot of people are not leaders in parenting, in relationships. And a lot of people don't have the leadership capability. Again, that starts also within. Everything starts with you. So leadership starts with you as well. So the negotiation, the leadership, and third one, because I can tie negotiation, sales, persuasion, I can tie it in the same thing. But negotiate is also someone that could be isolated as well, because if you look at negotiation, for an example, negotiation is key because learning how to compromise, right? Learning how to, one of the books I just read is Emotional Intelligence, right? Understanding, you know, how other people think, right? Understanding my emotions, right? But also understands, you know, considering the source, right? Certain things like that, certain tactics, right? So who has this problem, right? Let me exchange. Let me put myself in that person's shoes, right? Let me look from that person's perspective, and based off of that new awareness, let me then make an intelligent decision of how can I respond based on that person's level of thinking or their level of receiving, right? So being able to negotiate not only going to help you in sales, but it's going to help you in life, relationship, especially, right? Because you know what I mean, it's crazy because you got different people, and it's ego, it's personality, is pride, you know, it's a lot of stuff. So being able to be humble, all that like that, you have to really understand psychology, understanding all this plays, and then all this leads. The biggest one is leadership. Everything I'm talking about leadership. My mentor talks about this all the time. 2 things you want to really study and master is belief and leadership. You have those 2 things, anything that you do, you're going to be successful. Belief and leadership. right? Because your belief aspect of it in yourself and what you're doing is gonna, never allow you to come up off your confession, right? Your confession is, what do you desire doing this work, right? What is my declaration in this world? I'm never gonna come off of that because of my belief in the things that I've been promised. And my leadership is people gonna follow me because of that confession, right? And everything to that standpoint. So belief in leadership, but let me reiterate. So you got negotiation.
I got you. Look, I really want to stop because you said some good stuff right here. Like, let's go back to what you talked about, negotiation and the ego. Because in relationships, man, we got to unpack that. Because I don't think people understand what you mean by ego. Ego. What is ego? When you think about ego, because I think a little bit differently. I've been studying the ego a bit, and I know I got some to do with my own ego. So in ego, even when it comes to relationships, and when we talk about relationships, you all, we're talking about romantic, we're talking about mother-daughter, son to father, all these different dynamics of relationships, different levels, different dynamics. So how what does ego show up, or how can we identify ego, or what is an example of?
Man, that's deep. That's a whole conversation within itself, and you're gonna identify this working with people. That's why I'm so grateful for networking, right? Because it really taught me about people. It forced me to understand people, and I now understand why that ratio is this, that 96 to the 95 to 5% ratio is this. Why majority of people with talent, with gifts don't succeed, while other people don't, because you deal with different people, humility, all that good stuff. So ego, I mean, it's something that's subconscious, and I think it goes back to people don't do the self-work. Sometimes it's something that dealing with personal trauma that happened years ago, right? It's a lot that ties to it. Maybe sometimes I'm acting based off of I'm based off of territory. Like, it's a lot, it's so and I'm trying to give you an example within my personal from relationship or business wise. I got many examples, but sometimes it's and also it dealing with miscommunication, right? Not understanding the other person's perspective. That's where emotional intelligence come in. But again, the root of this is people don't do the work, on their self. If I understand me, I understand what triggers me. I understand, what excites me. I understand what offends me. I understand all those aspects. So now I know what to avoid. I know now to how to respond to avoid my ego getting away, right? Or avoid my pride getting away to now detrimentally hurt me, right? So now all right, there's no such thing as good or bad emotion. I feel it, all right? I'm human. So now let me read into it. Where is it coming from, right? Why does this exist? Okay, now that I understand this, self-management, now you got self-awareness. Self-awareness is now I'm identified, I feel this way. Self-management is like, okay, I feel this way. Okay, so how I'm gonna respond to manage my behavior, right? So, because now I don't have an excuse. As a kid, you got the excuse to be, all right, this is just the way things are. Listen, when you're an adult, I'll tell people this all the time, especially my organization, my leaders. I'm like, yo, as a kid, you can say, okay, this how I am. This is just my personality. But as an adult, I have an obligation to correct things for productive situations and things that's not productive. If it's not productive, I gotta correct it. I gotta grow. I gotta be able to know how to negotiate. I gotta be able to know how to compromise and things like that. So you just it's hard to tell you pinpoint where ego comes in different conflicts because it's so broad and it comes with so many roots. But your ability to understand emotional intelligence, your ability to understand you, because you're going to see you in a lot of people and being able to sympathize, not judge, right? And I don't want to go too far in this, but I'll mention this and maybe we come back on it. And one thing I learned also is we have the ability to go from a place of conditional and unconditional love. Life has taught us and programmed us to have a conditional state of love, right? And so now what I got to a place, listen, it's okay. I'm more relaxed, I'm more peace. At the beginning, I try to force things. I try to force people to do the things I expect them to do. Now I'm okay. It's okay. I still love you. No hard feelings. I'm not going to judge you based off of it. And listen, I get it, right? We all have our things. So that's the unconditional aspect. At first, it's conditional. If you don't do this, then you know what? I can't mess with you. So that's also an element as well. But if you do the work, you will be able to have a lot more peace in your life as you deal with conflicts in itself. All right, maybe you know what I mean, this is a situation that's not meant to go forward, you know, and it's okay. You know, we can still have an olive branch, whatever the case may be, but maybe, you know, we not meant to go down this path, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's important for sure.
So even to kind of give more substance to this, you guys, when I think about ego for myself and what I've learned about it so far, even as a leader, you know, people not recognizing you or saying, oh, she's the CEO or he's the CEO, like that little part right there where you become to be, you know, offended. And I learned this from listening to Oprah Super Soul Sundays. I love her because she dives into conversations like this. If you don't watch her, you need to watch her. She has great stuff. Listen to her. But I recognize even in myself that ego would come up in pride. Ego would come up in fear. Ego would alter my decision making, right? So let's kind of transition this because this is good, right? This is really good. We're talking about relationships and the psychology of people and understanding people's minds and talking to them and resonating and relating to them on the level of their consciousness, on the level of their vibration, on the level of their vibe. Now, let me take a pause right here to say, guys, I'm so glad you're tuning in right now. We have Rico McKinney, Chief Executive of Gifted Empire. He's a Forex trader. So if you need to know anything about Forex trading, go ahead and follow him, add him, go do whatever you need to do to go get connected with him. He's a great person to borrow some belief. If you can't believe in yourself right now, borrow his belief because it's on fire, it's magnetic. It's awesome. I also want to say, I keep using the word vibe because I have a new book coming out. I'll be an author. And so I'm really excited about that book. But let's get back to it. Here's the next question. Make sure you share, like, post, comment, all that good stuff as well. So here's the next question. Is relationships, are our relationships a business?
Unpopular, what they say, unpopular opinion. But yeah, so here's the thing, man. Here's the thing I also realized. This may be the American in us, the US in us. Everything is a business. Church is a business now, right? Everything is a business. And sometimes, you know, knowing you unapologetic about things and you just take advantage. So sometimes I realize a lot of people complain about the brokenness in the system, right? I look at them like, yo, this is the game we're in. Let me master the game. How can I win within the game we're playing? So I accepted the fact that everything's a business. Instead of me complaining about it and try to make other people change the system, I'm like, yo, everything's a business. So how can I maximize this business? How can I profit from this business? So absolutely, relationship is a business. Or it should be a business. Let me correct that because it may not be a business for most people, but it should be a business. It should be a progressive realization of where the ideal cause, right? When we define success as, it should be that, right? You should be growing into something, right? And everything. One of the best examples I say of this is, I'm not sure if you know Dana Chanel, Prince Donnell, right? Their marriage, you know what I mean? It's a business, obviously, right? It's love there, it's a relationship, but it's also in the business. My mom, and her husband relationship, it's a business, right? And everything to this standpoint. So absolutely, it is a business.
I agree with you, right? You want to know that whatever you're putting your investments in, emotionally, mentally, like these physical investments, if you're gonna be, you know, doing all this type of stuff, like you want to know that you can get a good return on investment, right? I know that what I bring to the table is valuable. I am valuable. I am worth a whole lot. I am a woman who is a helper, who's going to multiply somebody's son's life. Right? And then also from a man's standpoint, you are a vessel, a provision. You're a person with provision, and you're going to have to lead the household. That goes back to that leadership, those 3 skills that we need. Everything I do believe as well is from a capitalistic standpoint, a business. So yeah, you got to know, also, I need a good ROI.
Are you a Games of Thrones fan?
I'm not.
Okay. Have you seen the new show on Netflix, Bridgerton? What do you call it? I
haven't started watching it yet.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, I was looking at the definition so we could correlate it. But here's the thing, right? So I'm pretty sure you understand like England or English people like way of relationship. You know what I mean? So it's like in Games of Thrones, Bridgerton is like they literally raise their daughters up to become a bride. Like that's like the biggest thing in their life is to get married off, find the right guy, and they intertwine, you know, and it's like a business, right? The guys, they raise them up, especially if you're a son of a duke, if you're a son of a lord or a king or a queen, you're next up, right? To carry the throne and to further the legacy, right? The keyword legacy, right? In America, like especially in our community, we don't have a Passover torch because we don't have anything to pass over, right? What did our grandfathers leave us? So this is not a business for our generation, but you best believe for a certain, you know, other race people, right? It should be. So because if I'm looking to build a family with you, right? If I'm looking to create a legacy with you, that should be at the forefront. We creating a legacy. We are building something. We are leaving things fruitful and multiply. That should be a thought process. So you won't go into business with any other person. So why would you build a lifestyle with any other person? Right? It should be something that we put a lot of thought into. It should be something that is strategized. You know, of course, it shouldn't be something you shouldn't be calculated to like the T. You should let divine intervention come into play, and God is a lead form of that. But it should be something that you like and be intentional about. Like it should be something that's intentional, but it's not. That's the thing. Is not though. But you look at these shows like, yo, they spend their whole life to get to a moment they marry the right person to build. And the once you get married, you're not done. You got to have a kid. Why? Because your relationship don't even start until you have a kid. Like, because we got to know that you multiply. I can't die unless I know I have a son or have a, like, that's these shows and they serious about it. Why? Because the legacy is what their life is about.
You know, when you start to say that last part, it made me think of Fred Hampton, the new movie that Judas Yep. How if he wouldn't have had her pregnant, you know, when he did, there wouldn't be a Fred Hampton Jr. to carry on his name. So legacy is definitely important. And so thinking about love, success, money, and the green flags of a relationship. Right. What are two green flags for you, or just maybe saying black men? Let's be specific, right? Black men maybe should be looking for, or women. You know, you can speak from both sides. What you think? You know, we're original. We have our own thought and conversation here. What are two green flags? That means go. Yeah, this is good. Green flags to look for while dating.
All right, I'm gonna speak from me, not a general standpoint, because that could differ. The first thing coming up to my mind is somebody that's obviously committed to growth, right? You want a growth journey, right? You committed because, you know, I heard Will Smith talk about this. You know, it's not my job to make you happy, right? It's not your job to make me happy. You want two whole people coming together and doing amazing things, right? And you complete me, you're a helpmate, right? And sort of space and everything to that standpoint. So if somebody's committed, and this is also where I run into problems, is because I'm so committed to my self journey, right? I'm so committed to becoming more every single day. I want to have conversation. I'm gonna mess up, man. I'm not perfect, right? I have things in my personality that's not like productive, you know what I mean? I got toxic traits, you know what I mean? So, but I want somebody that's committed to not only growing themselves, but growing with me. You know what I mean? So as soon as I find something like you grow, you committed to growth, that's a plus. Because if you committed to grow, you committed to overcome, you know, temptation, battles, and conflict. That's what relationships about, is teaching people how to love you, right? Growing as a group and as a union. It's not gonna be perfect. You don't got no, but I want to be around people that gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not leaving the field. I gotta fight and leave. You know what I mean? I don't care how hard you knock me down. I'm standing on the field. Like, that's my personality. So I want somebody that's willing to fight. And if you willing to fight, we can accomplish anything. That's like the major thing. The second thing, green light. I'm a connection type person as well. I want to be effortless. You know what I mean? If it is not forced, sometimes you gotta force it, and sometimes you force it, then it become effortless. But that connection is powerful for me. I'm able to overlook a lot if the connection is there, because connection is so rare. You know what I mean? When you find that connection, I'm like, you know what? That's a red flag. But you know what? The connection is there, so I'm willing to, you know. So I say I can't think of a second. So I say connection and definitely somebody who's committed to grow.
Wow, that was a mouthful. Everybody, look, this is his personal, you know, green flag, right? But I think everybody can learn from that. You want to be, well, I do too. I agree with that. I want to be with somebody who is committed to growth, like spiritual development, personal development, physical, development, emotional and mental development. I want you to be seeking. I want you to be a learner of life. Can we, be on this journey of self-mastery together? And that connection, baby, it's more than just a connection. It's more than that. We gotta have the connection. We gotta have, what's the other C word? I can't even think right now. Chemistry. Yeah. We gotta have clarity. Okay. We gotta have connection, chemistry, and clarity. Let me know you're gonna call me tonight. You know what I'm saying? Let me know you picking me up, and I need some structure.
Communication. Communication. That's another
communication.
That's
a safe space to grow. A safe place to say this made me feel this way, and not be attacked by it, but to just truly say this is my feeling. No ego. Just growth, right? Giving ourselves a place to
go.
Healthy ego.
Not no. Because here's the thing too. I don't like. It's so crazy, man. And this is nothing we talking about, but I'm gonna make this point because it's so important. I've been dealing with a lot lately. It's crazy how many people, and you somebody who's dominant, right? You somebody who obviously you maybe not 100%, but you have identified, your purpose, and you're on that pursuit. You know who you are, right? And you're a dominant person, and so many people are threatened by your dominance. So many people are threatened by, you understanding who you are, right? And you sometimes, and for my whole life, I apologize for my greatness. I dim my light to please and massage other people's ego. And listen, I was like, I didn't care. And then sometimes in friendships or relationships, they secretly envy you. They secretly is jealous of you. And you don't feel that way. Like, why are you jealous of me? I admire you. I admire your gift. It doesn't have to be that way. So you have somebody secretly envy you, it's never going to work. So yeah, ego is cool, but I don't want nobody to envy my gift or anything like that. Feel threatened or belittled by it because I'm dominant and that's not my intention. No, my heart. I'm not, no, you good, I'm good. You got two different balances. Why I gotta apologize for me wanting to be more? If you don't want to be more, that's you. I love you for that. But, don't make me want to do abundant and more things, make you feel inferior. I don't want to be around those people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And notice, you guys, he did not say jealousy. He said envy. There's a difference. I'm going to have you do some homework. Go look up the difference. Go look up the definition. That's your homework. That's your homework for the way for the ride home, wherever you at, right? But that's real. And that's not just for your romantic relationships. Like you said, it's in friendships. It's in all of that. It could be cousins that's tripping, secretly. It could be, somebody secretly envying what you have. But let me tell you this now. You better be careful about what you're envying. You better be careful about what you're comparing yourself to. Because you don't know. That ain't your oil. You ain't anointed. You ain't graced for that journey. You don't know what that person does behind closed doors. Okay. Because, baby, I'll be praying. I'll be crying. But I'm committed to grow. That was good. That was a mic drop. Y'all need to put in the comments. Vibe. Just put in the comments vibe. That's all I get. That was really good too. 2 green flags. I really like that. You know what? I have this question that I want to ask you. For people, and this is to plug you in, right? For people who are interested in Forex or trading and whatnot, what are your top 3 tips to take action today? Now.
Yeah. First and foremost, do your homework, and that's the biggest thing. Become educated. A lot of people miss out from one of my favorite things my mentor, David Minite, talks about. He says, people don't fail in life because of abundance of lies was told to them. People think that you failing or you don't have success because people lied to you. That's not why you fail. You fail because the truth was told to you, but you chose not to believe it, right? And how many truths was told to you, but because it's unpopular, right? Or because the people that you connected with don't agree with it or they don't have the vision for it, you missed out because of their opinions. That's also another thing. Don't form your decision based off of other people's opinion. Do your own research. Make your own decision. It's every situation, every opportunity, every avenue, somebody fail, somebody succeed. Right? I choose to focus on the people that won. Somebody got a degree and they homeless. Somebody got a degree and they wildly successful. Which one would you choose to focus on? So in Forest, yeah, you have people who tried and failed. You got people who done it and won, right? At an all-time level. They help a lot of people like myself. done the same thing. So which route do you choose? Yes, it's people that's not honest, that doesn't have integrity, that exists within this space. Absolutely. But you got to have that own, you got to own up who you chose to follow, right? Right. I can't bash all my exes. Look, I chose them. How am I bash that says a lot about me. Like how you had a bad mentor, you chose them, right? That says a lot about you. So yeah, do your homework, right? Do your homework and become educated, because people are winning, as you see. You know, people are winning and at an alarming rate. Become educated, see what it's about. And the three things I'll say in any opportunity, not only this space to succeed, you gotta have a burning desire to win, right? You gotta have a burning desire to have success, a willingness to work, and you also have to be coachable, right? Have to be coachable, because some people come into this space with their ego, with pride. I have I know not type of mentality. When I came into this space, all right, it wasn't about, and also challenge your excuse, because I'm quote unquote an introvert. I was like, that's natural, I'm an introvert, but I grew into.
Hold on, wait a minute. Challenge your excuses.
Challenge your excuses. I'm gonna go into that. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. So I'm a natural introvert, right? So I'm an introvert, but I'm speaking. I'm an introvert, but I chose to be a networker, right? How does it work? So I challenged my excuse. So when I came into this space, my mentor told me to do certain things based off my goal. But I realized about successful people are successful because they have goals, right? And they become obsessive with their goals. So what you do every single day is going to be correlated to what you believe, but also what you do is going to be really connected to what your goal is. So I'm willing to sacrifice this weekend and go to Atlanta, even when the roads are messed up. Why? Because I got a huge goal that scared me. I heard you talk about that the other week or something like that this year. So I got to be in that position. I'm around so many successful people that's going to show me how to win this year, help other people do the same thing. So I wanted to sacrifice to get there. Other people like, you're crazy. Your goal is not my goal this year, so you won't make this sacrifice. So what you do is going to be directly correlated to your goal. So I started asking questions like, yo, not that, hey, mentor, I don't talk to a lot of people, or he's a millionaire. Why would I tell him what I can do? So my question was, how can I do that successfully? Hey, what's the best route to take? So I asked the right question. All right, what's the best platform to tap into in this area, right? I'm not too, hey, I'm more so a visual learner. What would you suggest? I didn't tell him what I prefer because I didn't go to my job and tell him what he preferred. You have a lot of people coming to this space. Oh, I don't want to do no virtual learning. I don't want, like, yo, we specialize in this. Like, I asked my mentor, what should I do, bro? Hey, who's a successful that was at it? How can you help me? So ask the right questions, right? If you ask the right questions, they will lead you into the success that you have. That's why I was able to make my return back my first 6 hours. That's why I was able to replace my full-time job income in 4 months working this business part-time. Why? Because I asked the right questions. Not because I was great. It was a system that was already proven, right? You got people hit $1 million in our space in 5 months. You know, we got people like, so I want to throw income claims, but I seen that. So I'm like, they can do it. Yo, I can do half of that. I'm half as good. So I started asking the right questions. So number one, really get clarity on that and what you're looking for. Curiosity can possibly get you rich, right? So you got to do the right information. Understand how to differ from fact versus opinion, true versus false. That's an actual skill, right? And last thing I'll leave you guys with on this subject, successful people are successful because they position themselves in front of trends before that trend become obvious to the masses, right? That's why they're successful. It doesn't supposed to make sense to you. Observe the masses and do the complete opposites. History shows you what the masses do. The masses are typically wrong. So if the masses say, yo, 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 you want to go and probably look at something else. So really, really be skeptical of what they say. If you buy people's opinion, be prepared to buy their lifestyle.
You know, I want to go back to a point you made about making your own decisions, right? Like when I talk about the 4 values in my company, originality is one of those first things.
Facts.
Can you be original in your own thought pattern? Like, can you be original? Like, you are an original. Your DNA is specific and distinctive and exclusive. So, like, you talk about the herd, the masses, the biggest population. You do observe the trends, right? See what they're doing. Don't do that, right? And even if you don't know the right questions, you know, John Maxwell says, good leaders ask great questions or something like that, or great questions, something like that. Might have a book about it. Yeah, but I even asked myself, like, when somebody told me to ask better questions, like, that is a skill to build. Like, I was like low in confidence. I was like, I don't know what to ask. Like, and so that might have been not because of ego or anything like that, but I just haven't been exposed or positioned around people who ask really great questions. Even though it's something that I need to know, I just don't know what I, supposed to say. So I work with people. I position myself now. I don't mean a stranger, right? Because I have somebody in my ear saying, you should be asking your book coach this. You should be asking your book coach that. I'm like, oh, dang, I didn't even know, you know what I mean? I didn't know to ask that, right? And I'm doing the research. So being independent of your thought, yes, listen to other people, but take some time away. Go inside yourself. Do you actually really agree with that? Or do you want are you going to come and agree with it? That's really good. I really like what you said
if you haven't developed the skill to ask a good question, or you have good discernment, say yes and figure it out later. What's the worst? You got one life. You know what I mean? Stop trying to play it safe. Fail, learn, right? Like, why are we so afraid? You know what I mean? It's like we afraid of the wrong stuff. We say yes easily. And it's crazy. I always say this a lot in my presentations. We are loose with our time, but we are expensive and we are so we loose with our time, but we are tight with our money. Right? What I mean by that, we willing to give our time freely when time is the only thing we can't get back, but we willing to be tight with our money. I don't want to invest. I want to hold on to this, right? When it comes to investing in you, though, that's how it goes back to what I told you. You don't see you as successful, so of course you want to invest in you, right? So if you want to invest in you, why should I invest in you? You don't look at yourself as successful, so it goes in a mirror approach. So it goes back to that identify who you are. So you know who you are, you can say yes a lot more because I'm betting on me. You can put me on the moon, I'm gonna win.
Right? On me.
Listen, I'm gonna win, right? I don't care what company, what platform, what opportunity, I'm gonna win. I know me, right? If it's a blueprint and it's success in the blueprint, I'm gonna find a way because I'm coachable. So, but like, and if I don't fail, I know it's impossible for me to lose because I know my God, right? My identity is not found through circumstances, found in my who, right? And so again, all that comes back with self-reflection. So not being afraid to make a mistake or fail. Anything to the standpoint, stop playing it safe because what I got to lose.
Man, I really wanted to, I really wanted to go there on what you said, but I'm gonna let you, let that sink in. I let that sink in, everybody. Let that do what it do. So we got about let's say 3 minutes left, okay? And I really want to, I want to touch on like 2 things, but
I get a quick answer.
I think here I want you to, because I want you to leave the people. What would you say to your younger self, to somebody who is struggling right now in these three areas: love, success, and money? What would you leave them with? What would you tell them to kind of sit with or think on or research or what is something you can leave with?
First thing for my younger self, I because I look at other people. I look at Tiger Woods, who started when he was like 2. I look at some of the greats who was bred, like they was prepared younger. I wouldn't change nothing, but I wish I was pushed more, to really like do more speaking, to be more engaged, to get out of my shell. I wish I would have did that earlier, right? Because when I went 1 year at UTK, I went to Southwest, I wasn't as involved as I would be if I go back. I would do that completely different. I'll be more involved in high school. I'll be more engaging in certain areas. I'll make more connections, you know what I'm saying, if I can do it all over. So my younger stuff is getting more involved, to get out that shell earlier, to wait to my adulthood, even though I started when I was 18, that's still kind of early. Some people don't start till like 30, so I still had an early start, but I wish I would have started a little earlier. I think my trajectory would be kind of different. But yeah, man, also personal development, right? So I'm looking at my, the books I read, in the last couple of years, like really commit, start just commit to self-mastery, the understanding yourself, understanding your thinking process, understanding your subconscious, understanding other people, researching them about the markets or the path that you want to take. You know what I mean? So really become a student early. Most people stop learning once they graduate school. How many people ask yourself when last time you read a book? When I was in school. You gotta feed your body like you feed your, you gotta feed your mind like you feed your body. Work hard on you, then you work on anything else. You can't work on hard on your business, then you work on yourself. You gotta work hard on you, then you work in relationships. Work hard on you, then you work in finances. Work hard on you, then you work on any area of your life. Because you again, it's a common denominator. So I would say those two things is get more involved. And I would have wished I would have started personal development journey a lot sooner. And last thing I say is don't chase money, chase disciplines and habits. That's what really creates a success. Because entrepreneurship is, it's dope, but it's really about being disciplined.
Chase money. Chase discipline and what else?
Discipline and what I say, I forgot. Discipline or something.
It's in the replay. Y'all heard it. You know what I mean? So, guys, I really want to say to you, Rico, thank you so much for being a part of Authentic Thursday. We have authentic conversations that inspire people, creativity, excellence, originality, and faith. And you have given everybody laid it out, right? You didn't miss a beat. You started out with your story, and you ended with by saying, hey, you need to be thinking about discipline and personal development. And of course, my people who are not into personal development, who are afraid to get into personal development, might be afraid of your own thoughts may torture you. I'm saying, when you are able to look at yourself in that mirror, can't nobody handle you. You know what I mean? You got to be able to handle yourself, and then put yourself out there. Put yourself in places that you might be afraid to. But I just want to say thank you so much, guys. This has been good. Make sure y'all tag somebody. Make sure you share this. Make sure you like this. Remember, put in the comments, vibe. And if you're watching a replay, I see you.